Hello everybody. I thought I would do a little bit different video this time. Just got back from a big fishing trip out of San Diego where I killed it. Caught lots and lots of yellowfin tuna. My wife had her friends over. She's from Japan and all her friends are from Japan. They love sushi, so they had a big sushi fest. And she served them some of my world famous sauerkrauts. So it's very easy to make. So I thought I would make a quick video to show you how I make it. So this is everything that you need to make the sauerkraut. So this is the coleslaw cabbage. I get this at over at Smart and Final. 5 pounds is only about $5. It's a great deal. It's a lot. It makes 3 quarts. The cabbage kind of condenses down as it releases its moisture. And what makes it release its moisture is salt. So I use Himalayan pink salt. I think there's some problems if you use iodized salt, so you want to stay away from that. Just regular salt. And you need to calculate how much salt you need. So in this case, I'm using 5 pounds of cabbage. 5 pounds is 16 ounces, so that's 80 ounces of cabbage. Each ounce is 28 grams. So if you multiply 80 ounces times 28, you get 2,240 grams in 5 pounds. And your sauerkraut needs a 2% amount of salt in it. So you take 2% of the 2,240 grams, and that makes 45 grams. And I've weighed out 45 grams of pink Himalayan salt right here. And these are the parts from a kit you can buy on Amazon for fermentation. It's the lids and stick these little plastic things on top that let the gases escape through holes that are on the top of those things. You snap those little plastic things in place on the top of them, and it lets the gases out through while not letting any pathogens in. And then you need something to stuff your cabbage into the jars after it's been processed through for an hour. I'll show you what I'm going to do there. And it's good to have a label. Like, this is the date. 3 weeks from today is when your sauerkraut will be fully fermented. And then you just need some kind of a container to put it in that's going to be big enough, and you're not going to make a mess. So I use this big pot here. All right, so I did leave out a couple of key ingredients. This is fennel seed, and this is caraway seed, 2 main flavor ingredients that flavors your sauerkraut besides the sauce. And I just kind of do it, I just dump in however much I like. You can do it, I would say, like a 1/4 cup. That's probably good for you guys. Okay. And then the salt. And I've dumped in the cabbage to this pot. And it comes with some purple cabbage and some shredded purple cabbage, shredded carrots. And that's another part of the sauerkraut that's really good. So what you want to do is just kind of mix it around. Get a good mix on it. That's why it's good to have the pot, because then it's not going to come over the sides. Make sure you wash your hands first before you do this very well. And make sure the jars are nice and sterile, as well as your lids. And It's not like canning though. They don't have to be absolutely perfect, but you want them to be very clean. So what you're trying to do is just spread the salt over all of the cabbage, because that salt's gonna pull the moisture out of the cabbage. And a key part of sauerkraut is the juice. That juice is precious. After you've stuffed all of the cabbage into the jars, you pour the juice into the jars evenly. And if you need to top it off with a little water, you should definitely do that. It's very important that the cabbage is submerged in liquid. All right, so now we just let it sit for, I let it sit for 1 hour. And then when I come back, I'll show you the next part. Okay, we're back. It's been an hour, and the sauerkraut actually has gone down quite a bit because the water has gotten sucked out of it. So what I'm doing now is just, I'm squeezing it. You can see the water coming out of it. That's what you want, is the water to get released out of the cabbage. The way that happens is through the salt permeating the cabbage, and then you gotta squeeze it out. So now you can see that cabbage has condensed down quite a bit. At the bottom should be the water, and then we've got the cabbage, the squeezed cabbage at the top. Now we're gonna start putting it in our 1 quart mason jars. Okay. So I'm just gonna take, stuff the jars full of the cabbage and just get it even, 3 evenly spaced jars. Once I've got it to the top, I take my rolling pin, just kind of stuff it down. Okay, I'm just gonna continue to fill these jars until I've got 3 even jars, completely full and compacted. Okay, so now you can see the 3 jars are pretty well even, and it's important to have some space at the top, because what we're gonna do is one of the parts I didn't explain was we use these little glass weights to weight down the cabbage. And I'll give you the Amazon link for that too. So you just stick that on top there, squeeze it down. Squeeze it down. You can see all the liquid comes all the way up to the top, and that isn't any water. That's all liquid from the cabbage that got leached out during the salting process. So then all we got left to do, we put this little hoop in there. We can put the lid on at this point. Get it down there nice and firm. And then you stick this thing in as far as you can. And then you've got this little piece here. This goes in here. I'm just gonna put a little water in here that's been salted. That will kind of act as a barrier against any pathogens. That's all there is to it. And so I have a special place I put these on our counter, and I just let them go for 3 weeks. And then after the 3 weeks, I've taken off these lids and I put on just these plastic lids that you can get on Amazon. Okay, so there's the jars all neatly positioned to ferment for the next 3 weeks. This is what the finished product looks like. I just pulled this one out of the fridge. We eat this every night, and the reason we do is because it's delicious, and it is supposed to really kind of help add to your microbiome. Fermented foods are known to help your digestive system. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video from Club Veg Fishing and Traveling Adventures.